So we're out. We just arrived out at the farm where our watermelon patch is. And it's been a month. It's been a month, okay? It's now the 2nd of August. We were here last year on the 4th of July, 5th of July, all right? So we just couldn't help ourselves. We arrived at night and we're out to see the watermelon patch. We're going to look at it in the dark. Come on. Oh, watermelon, where are you? Where are you? Whoa. This is it. This is it.
Oh, wow.
Yike. That's insane. We have a big job ahead of us.
Yeah, we do.
They're in here, aren't they? These must be them?
Yep, it must be.
Oh my God. That's a lot of weeding we're going to do. A lot of weeding. We have to weed all of that. Oh my God. So now that it's daytime, unfortunately, it's totally a rainy day, but it's still gorgeous here. It's the 2nd of August. So after it's basically been 4 weeks, look at our garden. You can't even tell. You can you see the posts? Can you see the wire? Here's a corner post. There's the mounds. You can kind of see them. You can kind of see them. They're in there, but they're completely invaded by weeds. We're not going to go in there now and attack. Let's take a look at one mound. See? It's mixed in there, so we're going to try to free that right now. Okay, here's the watermelon patch, and here's the part that just took us 45 minutes to weed. And here's our mountain of weeds. It's ridiculous. Let me say, these weeds are some happy greens because they're growing in this beautiful rototilled soil. Look at the mountain of these weeds here. I mean, it's just gargantuan. That's like 3 feet high pile. So here's 3 mounds out of 24. Took us a lot. Oh, there's more pile of grass over here. And we have, you know, most of the plants we put there are from seed are there. These are the watermelons waiting for some more light and breathing space so they can take off. That's that is some thick grass, because this is the job, you know, and then that's how far you move, and then you could go do another one. It's a very, very time-consuming chore. So when I get in close like this, I have to be kind of delicate to make sure I don't pull out the plants. And I'm going to take my time, concentrate, because see, that's one of them right there. That is one watermelon plant right there. The problem is, so now the stems have grown really thick, but straight up, so they're really top heavy. So as soon as we release the support of all the grasses, they're flopping over, making me a little worried about which ones to prune, because who knows which of those that are flopping over will be traumatized and which ones will be okay, you know, and just basically survive. So they go from a very thick root, stem, down to this really thin root. They're not cracking or breaking, they're just flopping over. But I think they're meant to do that. The plant is designed that way, you know? Get some light, get started, get growing, then lay down and start running. That's the next thing that's going to happen now. But that's all we got root-wise in all of this hard work. You think of it, there's only so many roots that big that are actually in the ground. John Kohler, what have you done to me? Look at all this weeding I have to do because I made the soil so beautiful. I'll tell you what I'm really proud of. Really psyched about this wire. I had thought when I left here a month ago, I thought, why did I put that wire there? It's not creating much of a barrier. It's a definer, and it's great because when we go to weed now, I have a clue where my patch is. It's very helpful. So we're going to move on. We're going to try to double this amount and free half of the stuff today because we just don't have enough time to do it all. And then we're going to lay down some landscaping fabric, try to protect it.
We're freeing the babies. These hands are freeing the babies.
You got your feet in the mud.
Yep. I don't care. I'm all covered.
Pennsylvania dirt.
Feels good though.
Yeah. How are we doing? It took us another half hour. We cleared a lot more this time. We're getting better at it.
Our backs are starting to hurt more though.
Yeah, our backs hurt, but you can see we're freeing. We're getting to patches like this, and of course they're all flopping down because they all want to lay down. But we're getting there.
I can't even stop to talk to you.
So you can see what's happening is these plants, these watermelon, the second that they are freed from this tall grass, they flop over. It is so clear to us that these plants have gone too far with this grass holding it up as a support. They should not be standing upward. Every single one of them wants to lay down because they're runners, they're vines. See that? As soon as I go just pull the grass away from it, I'm not even really messing with the plant, it goes over. Of course, my next concern is which of these plants will make it. Which of them might be hurt or traumatized by that. Look at that, 24 mounds. Took us like 3 hours to weed the whole thing. Woo! Pretty wild. Pretty wild. Landscaper cloth. I'm worried about hurting the plants with this, so we got to be careful. Just keep the wind off from blowing it up. Okay, check this out. It took us about 5 hours to weed the whole thing. 2 people, that's 10 man hours. To weed the whole thing and lay down the landscaper cloth. And the truth is, we ran out of clips for the landscaper cloth, so we used old pieces of metal that we had dug up when we rototilled. We're just doing some watering now. And we'll have to stop by maybe in a week. Try to figure out which plants made it, which ones, because I think they're being slightly traumatized because they were so tall in the grass, they had grown a lot. They're very thick. I keep saying this in the video, but still, this is the point of this whole thing, is that they're inappropriately tall. Like this one is not it. You see it goes straight up, and all the others want to lay down because it's a vine. These guys have wanted to lay down. They probably haven't been able to. Definitely going to get a little trauma here from down like that. But in general, they're going to get a lot more light. They're going to get a lot more Here comes a strong storm, black clouds rolling in. We worked hard all day today. There it is. There's the patch. The wind is going to definitely mess with our cloth because we didn't have enough pins, but we're going to do our best. Certainly the water is going to help. I've definitely got some dirt in my eye. Michelle, you do too, right?
Yep.
We flicked a lot of dirt off of a lot of weeds today. Mountains and mountains and mountains of weeds. I think you get the idea. Based on what we showed you. But I was just kind of reflecting on this task as exercise. A workout. We worked for 5.5 hours with, full on. We took one break for about 20 minutes to have some tea and watermelon. And we went back. And we physically worked, pulling. I mean, all my arms here, I'm going to be sore tomorrow. I mean, I can feel the muscles in my arms. And it's got to be so good, like milking a cow, and it's just doing this all day and this too. And I can feel it in my hands. I feel the muscles in my hands I didn't know I had. And imagine working like that every day for your food. We have it so good that we don't have to think like that. We don't have to think about those things. We go to the shelf and we just take it. It's kind of amazing,
What do you think? What do you think, Michelle?
Well, I just think that a lot of the reason why a lot of people perhaps don't engage in this type of activity is that they think that the barrier to do it is just really, really big.
Meaning?
It's too much energy, it's too much time, you can't, but it's somewhat true.
Yeah, it is. It is big, but the
once you get going, yeah.
I mean, isn't that the end result? Is yes, it is big, but it is a net gain to you. The return is larger.
The return is much larger than sitting watching 2 movies in a row, which would have equaled the same amount of time. Okay, maybe a little less, but
or one night of TV for a lot of people,
right?
Myself included, sometimes.
And what's the benefit of that? I mean, the benefit of that is fine. It's good. You chill out. You put your feet up. It's definitely important. But this, I don't know. I've been thinking about that because I know for myself, I don't have a history of having a lot of relationship with this type of activity, especially gardening or anything working physically. Just didn't really
working with the soil today is still, I've done that on my parents' property, but there's something different about working in the soil in a family farm that's nearly 300 years old. I mean, you can feel it.
It's intense.
And that earth by itself is just phenomenal. I mean, it is Pennsylvania earth. It is so beautiful. I love getting it in my hands and, getting it in my feet. It was awesome to be in it.
Yep, when we first got there, you said take off your shoes because it was kind of half raining a little bit when we first started.
Yeah, it was.
You're like, take off your shoes. I thought to myself, well, ew, at first, and then I took off my shoes. It was perfect. It's actually better. You just give in. Okay, you're going to get totally dirty and yucky and whatever. Take a shower after. And just get into it and make it go, And it worked. I can't believe you got to the end. I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too. Now we have to go back we'll go back at the end of the week. We just go for an hour. We bring up 2 boxes of pins because I didn't buy enough pins. I only bought 75. I used right up.
Right.
Really frustrating. And I think some bricks too.
Yeah.
I've got some old bricks at the house I can bring out there and lay them around. I think that would be very helpful as well. Cool.
Excellent. Well, the next installment.
Oh yeah, and then the next one, what we're gonna do too is we're gonna euthanize some of them. No, we're not. We're gonna do what we did in the back seat of this car.
That's right. You forgot to mention. Right. We took some babies. We brought them home with us.
Kill them. We're not gonna kill them. We're gonna bring them home.
Duh.
Oh my God, that's what you gotta do.
Yep.
We'd love a truckload of that soil in our house.
Oh my gosh.